Alright, I'm back. I put away the box of tissues and my Kinger plush away. Any cases, welcome back to Hexbots Heat E, I believe. I'm sorry. Last time it was Lester the Lobster and Battle Axe, the United Kingdom duo, going to the tournament, and Blacksmith sitting out in the Desperado tournament. Now this time it's Spinners a lower and a lifter, I guess, but we'll get to that later. As in any cases, let's get in with our lineup. This will be a definite lineup. First, from Auckland, New Zealand, Endgame. The Battlebots champions are here. Endgame has its signature single spinner, and I guess its ruthless attitude. It's got some good pushing power, however, it's not entirely durable, so look out for it in this heat. From Little Rock, Arkansas, Assassin. We enter in Assassin with a very brand new design, brand new paint job, and a brand new bar spinner. Hopefully, it should definitely have a good weapon. However, it often breaks loose, so who knows what we could see from Assassin. From Warwick, Rhode Island, Demo Derby. Definitely credited as the most unlucky robot in the lineup today. Demo Derby has a record so far of 4-11. Let's hope Demo Derby can actually get a win today. I don't really know. I'm kind of running out of room right now. From Seattle, Washington, Warbird Max. The returnees from Robot Bricks return with Warbird Max, who came into the season last year. They have their signature overhead spinner and their eagle-shaped face. It's got a good weapon, however, it breaks pretty loose, so let's see how it does. And from Boise, Idaho, Metal King. Rounding out the field is the true Sonic, Metal King. He comes back in from the New Blood tournament. He was pretty good in it, however, he lost pretty early against Toxic Drake. It's got a strong weapon to drive, however, it's rather unreliable. Alright, and first things first, to kick things off is a classic vertical versus horizontal spinner. In the blue square is Endgame. He's been pretty successful recently. An Assassin in the red square, who has a brand new look, which looks something straight out of Doom Eternal. I love it. Some weakness, however, is that the bar spinner is just going to fly off, but I'm kind of spoiling you, so in any cases, let's just get started with the fight. In the classic horizontal versus bar. Tombstone versus Bite Force, essentially. Except different. 3, 2, 1, action. Let the bot battle begin. Endgame versus Assassin. Both are up to speed. Endgame pushes back Assassin into the wall. And, well, yeah, here we go. Endgame, well, looking the same as usual. And Assassin with a brand new look. With the side panel, it immediately loses the side panel, as I mentioned it. It's got a new bar spinner based on Monsoon from Battlebots, and it's also got a fork on the front of it, reminiscent of Cheesecake, to get underneath of wedges and deal damage to them easier. Well, that is, if Assassin's weapon actually worked for once. As Assassin is being pushed back by Endgame right now, as Endgame tries to turn around. Assassin still trying to get an on-the attack, as Endgame pushes him back. And it was being pushed into the screws by Assassin. Well, this is going pretty good right now, as Assassin keeps on getting pushed around and loses another side panel, because of course he does, because they never heard of glue in their lives. And they flicked that away just to show it. Anyways, Endgame tries to snipe the wheels on Assassin, although it's not really going to do much except gain him damage points if it ever goes to a judge's decision. Lord knows we might go there. Anyways, Assassin, what exactly are they doing? I don't know. Would they win a judge's decision? My guess, probably not, because they haven't been pretty controlled. They have a lot of damage taken out of them, and they're not good at control either, because they keep ramming into the wall for some reason, while Endgame is just the complete reciprocal. Anyways, Endgame trying to go around. They get stuck on the screws for a moment, but they're free. Assassin trying to get up to speed. It's only at a very low speed right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because they didn't crank up the speed on it. I don't know why. Anyways, Assassin's trying to get back up to speed as Endgame charges at Assassin to zero avail. to the likes of absolutely no one. Anyways, Assassin rams into the wall again, because of course they do. Trying to get to the back of Endgame where they do so, but not really in a successful way, as Endgame is mainly just pushing Assassin onto the wall, trying to see if they can just kill him off right now. I doubt that, but we're going to keep the fight going until we go to a judge's decision, or unless a miracle happens. Assassin gets pushed into the screws by Endgame. Sorry, just not feeling it right now. Endgame trying to do something. Assassin with a little snipe shot on the side of Endgame. So that's good damage points, but again, a good chunk of it is going to Endgame in this fight, because Assassin haven't done anything. As we're going to time right now, I think it's pretty obvious on who the winner is on this fight. Yeesh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered a judge's decision. They awarded it unanimously to the winner, Endgame. Well, that kind of just happened. I think Assassin's bar just didn't want to work the whole time, and Endgame was just being rather sluggish right now. But at least something happened. Endgame gets the 2 points and Assassin with 1. Next up, we've got Demo Derby and Warbird Max. I'm betting $15 that Warbird Max's bar is just going to fly. If not, Demo Derby loses by a knockout for some stupid reason. Anyways, let's begin. 3, 2, 1... activate. Let the bot battle begin. The unlucky robot versus the rookie from last season. Demo Derby and Warbird Max. Warbird Max pushing Demo Derby into the screws, and they're feeding up Demo Derby, but he gets free. I think because he's stuck on Warbird Max. His back panel. Anyways, the two clash for another hit. Demo Derby needs to get some more wins here after their unlucky 0-4 win rate last season, and were just absolutely bullied through the rest of the season, as Demo Derby being hoisted up by the screws, and I think we know where this is going. I think Demo Derby is not going to get out of here. Warbird Max actually gets a knockout win. That's impressive. Warbird Max get the win. Even with the new arena setup and something different in Demo Derby, his bad luck still continues this season. I wouldn't be surprised if he just gets 0 wins at this point. As well, next up, we've got Assassin in the blue square and the rookies Metal King in the red. Metal King is so far proven to be a really good robot in the New Blood tournament, however, losing in the fastest KO against eventual champions Toxic Drake. But let's see how this goes with Assassin, the newly updated bar spinner, and Metal King, the wannabe ultimate Overlord. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. Assassin and Metal King up to speed. There goes a side panel immediately off of Assassin. Metal King coming down with its lifter and its egg beater drum. We saw it in the New Blood tournament. It did well against, actually I kind of forgot who, it was Kraken. And then he lost in the fastest KO to eventual champions Toxic Drake. So that's something. At least both of these guys have something in common. They were both decimated by eventual champions. But who takes the cake here? Is it Assassin or Metal King? Well, based on what I saw of Metal King, I'd say Metal King definitely has the advantage right now. It's doing the damage and knocking off the side panels off of Assassin. And the control right now pushing Assassin towards the screws. And also loses a back panel in the process. That's cool. Metal King tries to come in with an attack. Assassin, the best way I can see them do damage is maybe to the lifter of Metal King, as Metal King is trying to lift them out of the arena. Although I don't know. Assassin is getting hooked on the screws right now, as Metal King kind of just misses Assassin with the lift, and again, because why? And the third time, I guess, is the charm. They grab a hold of Assassin and control him around, although nothing too crazy is happening. Both are staying nice in control. Assassin stuck in the back corner, and Metal King with a big charge, getting underneath of Assassin. Assassin backs away, trying to maybe pin Metal King to the side wall. He was just stuck for a moment. Anyways, Metal King getting to the side and flips over Assassin and pushes him into the corner. Well, Metal King is going to win by a knockout, as Assassin is left to dry. 3 points. Go to Metal King. Metal King definitely shows what he's made of in that fight. Assassin has now just dropped to 1 point. That is just sad. I thought their new look would actually benefit them, but it's just hindered them because I guess it's just their front that they have trouble with. Anyways, we have Endgame with 2 points and Demo Derby with nothing. Something bad is going to happen with Demo Derby, and I know it. As his unlucky streak continues this season, let's see if it continues again, but let's find out. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. Endgame versus Demo Derby. Endgame so far has 2 points, and Demo Derby with none after a disappointing loss to Warbird Max. So let's see if Demo Derby can survive for more than a minute in this fight. I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers right now and hoping that he does. Endgame charging into Demo Derby and trying to push him away, although it's not really working. Endgame gets a hold of Demo Derby and tries to put him into screws, but it doesn't work. Endgame pushing around Demo Derby. The pulverizer comes down and knocks off the claws off of Demo Derby. So that's something, and being pushed back into the side by Endgame. Had some good control there from Endgame, not so much from Demo Derby. As again, they're kind of just the unlucky in this entire heat. And if anything, throughout the whole season, they went off to a good start in the first New Blood tournament and just kind of fell off. They only had like 1 win in the regular season, and that's it. 1. And it was against bloody Orbit of all competitors. And I think Assassin was in that heat as well, so we'll see a rematch between those later. And it was back with the fight. Endgame pushing it back, Demo Derby. It's pushing him toward the screws. That's some good control there by Endgame. However, Demo Derby does not fall for it, as instead being pushed around. Can Demo Derby do something? I don't think so. I think it's just Endgame just going to push Demo Derby around until a miracle happens. Unless something crazy happens that favors Demo Derby, although I doubt at this rate, because so far damage and basically everything's going to Endgame, because Demo Derby is just not doing anything, although he gets a nice shot on the side of Endgame and tries to put him in the screws, but it doesn't work. I guess the only way it can work is if Demo Derby is up on it and he loses. Subliminal foreshadowing. Anyways, Demo Derby lining up a shot onto the side of Endgame, and Endgame pushing back Demo Derby, trying to get him into the screws to hopefully put an end to his misery. Well, we can't right now. He's got 2 more fights after this, and I guess so does Endgame. Anyways, the both are going around. Demo Derby getting pushed back by Endgame once more. It goes into the screw. No, not really into the screws. They catched a lot of victims this year, must be said. Anyways, Demo Derby being pushed back into out of the arena zone. Is Demo Derby going to be counted out? Yes, he is! We're getting close to time, but Endgame is going to take a knockout win. And I guess I'm always right. Demo Derby's streak of losing is continuing this season. Man, what's going on with Demo Derby? He was decent in Series 2, and this has just been and just dropped the ball last season. And it looks like it's going to be a repeat this season as well. Well, anyways, next up we've got the alternates from last season, Warbird Max, against Metal King, the rookies. Which Metal King is doing well with 3 points, and Warbird Max is 2 with 3 points. Unironically, they both beat Demo Derby, so who actually takes the title of Demo Destroyer? Let's find out. 3, 2, 1... activate. Let the bot battle begin. Warbird Max the first to get out of the square, and Metal King, I guess, taking his sweet time. Metal King's gonna just use the lifter. Maybe, we'll see how it goes. As Warbird Max gets the first few hits with their weapon, but Metal King's weapon is up to speed now, and is now trying to go after Warbird Max. Let's see what it can do. I don't really know if it's gonna do anything. Metal King gets a hold and almost lifts himself. What was Metal King thinking there? Warbird Max just got stuck on the the screws for a moment, as Metal King is trying to recreate the same mistake he did and pushing back, getting underneath of Warbird Max. That's a good start there from the ultimate Overlord in Metal King. I'm going to say as much Metal Sonic references as so that you can understand what the character it is. Anyways, Warbird Max being pushed back into the corner again by Metal King, who's going in with both the lifter and the egg beater. Are any of those doing it? Any favors to Metal King? I don't know. It's pushing back Warbird Max, though, so that's some good control there again from Metal King. Neither have really inflicted any damage so far, as Metal King being pushed back by Warbird Max, and now being pushed back again by Metal King. Some good back and forth action going on right now, as both are backed into a corner. Metal King, both are getting stuck in the screws. I think it's Metal King who got up on the screws, and Warbird Max, well, he's stuck on the screws, but Metal King gonna get him free, and I think that back panel is also loose, but Warbird Max goes back onto the screws again, and oh, well, I guess Warbird Max is not getting down. Oh yeah, I guess a knockout's being called, and Metal King gets another 3 points to his record. What a fight for him. Well, here we are again. Metal King takes the win again. Warbird Max just, yeah. So far, Metal King is so far in the lead with 6 points, with Endgame right behind. As next up, we have a rematch from Series 2 between Assassin and Demo Derby. Assassin won the fight by getting Demo Derby stuck in the shelf. Can he do it again? Or will Demo Derby finally break his losing streak and actually manage something? I doubt, but let's find out. 3, 2, 1... activate. Let the bot battle begin. Let the rematch, I should say, begin. The last time these two fought was in Season 2. Assassin took the win via a knockout because Demo Derby is stupid. Anyways, Demo Derby and Assassin snooping each other. They go into the screws, and Demo Derby is stuck. You've got to be kidding me. Assassin, can you please get him down so we can have a good... never mind. Well, whatever. Assassin's gonna win the rematch. Demo Derby is just done for the season. If this keeps up one more time for Demo Derby, I feel like he's just gonna come down as the most unluckiest competitor in this entire field. Besides robots that just competed for only 1 year. Demo Derby's been through 3. Never made the tournament and just kept losing. Like, I think he at least got some wins before the 2022 season started, I want to say. But now he's just been a complete slump the whole time. Well, Demo Derby is just not going to do anything this year, folks. So if you had your money on Demo Derby, you kind of just threw it in the garbage. So, yeah. Anyways, next up we've got Endgame in 2nd place with 5 points and Warbird Max in 4th place with 3. Let's find out who wins. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. Horizontal versus vertical spinner. Endgame versus Warbird Max. Let's see how this fight will go. I want to guess that Warbird Max loses his bar spinner, although who knows? Maybe he doesn't. Anyways, Endgame, Warbird Max hitting the wall for some reason. I don't know why. Endgame trying to go around. Can he snake his way to get a win? I don't think so. That's another nice hit there by Endgame. As who is being more effective? I think it's Endgame, because he gets underneath of Warbird Max and uses the spinner, unlike the big flailing robot bird who just keeps hitting the wall and itself for some reason. The pulverizer goes down on Endgame. Yeah, the pulverizers, they're no one's friend. Besides the arena, I guess. And it was Warbird Max trying to snake his way around, pushes back Endgame to the side wall, but can't really hit him with the spinner, though, because he's too high up. Now getting dangerously close to the pulverizer, but Warbird Max gets free. Warbird getting pushed back by Endgame. It's actually using the spinner now, so that's something. Warbird Max tries to land another hit, but it's wheeling off of Endgame's wedgelets. So that's something. It does it again. That's actually... It's pretty funny that Warbird just goes up and over Endgame. That's extremely funny. Anyways, not to confuse Warbird Max with, like, Warbird or Warbird X from Theo Humblebots, if you remember him. Who also made PGF, I believe. I hope I said that correctly. Warbird Max continues to get up to speed. And Endgame getting him by the tire. That's good damage there by Endgame. Speaking of which, neither have really done any damage so far. So who is actually winning damage? Well, I guess if there is no damage, you might as well just pin in for, like, weapon effectiveness. And I'd say Endgame right now, because Warbird Max can't really hit anything on Endgame, unless if it's really close to the spinner. In which I doubt at this point. It's just, at this point, pushing Endgame. So yeah, I might say Endgame is winning the fight. Warbird Max is trying to do something right now. I think it has a knockout and a knockout win and a knockout loss. So he is at 3 points, and Endgame is at 5, I want to say. Because I think he took out Demo Derby. I don't know. I honestly forgot. Anyways, we're going to time right now between Endgame and Warbird Max. I definitely would say Endgame has us in the bag, but let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered a judge's decision. They awarded it unanimously to the winner, Warbird Max. Well, that just happened. Anyways, let's go on to Demo Derby's last fight, and probably his last fight of his entire career. Because if he doesn't at least get 1 point on here, I highly doubt Demo Derby will even do anything next year. And I highly doubt he's even going to get anything when he faces Metal King, who has pretty much ripped through Warbird Max and Assassin in pretty good fashion. So, can Metal King recreate his success again and go on to a 12 winning streak? Or will Demo Derby actually surprise us? I doubt, but let's go. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bots battle begin. Metal King hits the front of Demo Derby. Demo Derby, well, nonetheless, if he ever gets points, it's not gonna happen. Well, that happened. The unlucky bastard is dead. Metal King is just gonna get another 3 points. What is going on with Demo Derby? What a shame. Metal King wins. Well, Metal King is definitely on a revenge spree after his sudden loss to Toxic Drake. As now, Metal King now leads with 9 points, Endgame in his dust. Well, with 6 points. And Demo Derby is just completely gone. Anyways, next up we've got Assassin versus Warbird Max. I guess this is for bragging rights on whoever goes to the, either the tournament or the Desperado tournament. If Assassin or Warbird Max wins, I'll maybe be happy. I don't know. But let's find out. 3, 2, 1, active. Let the bot battle begin. 2 horizontal spinners. A horizontal bar versus a overhead bar. Warbird Max and Assassin. Assassin immediately gets a side panel removed, although what more are you expecting from frickin' Assassin of all robots? Its look is pretty good, but do I think he's going to be in the tournament? I honestly don't know. It depends on if Warbird Max does something or if Assassin does something. As they both are getting to the screws, is Assassin getting up? Is Warbird Max doing his job? I think Assassin might be stuck on his own spinner mounting. As Assassin gets stuck on the screws, I think this might be curtains for Assassin. If he doesn't get free, he's getting stuck, and he gets back! What a save by Assassin! I don't know what on earth Warbird Max was thinking there. Like, you had that fight in the bag and you just threw it away. Please tell... Aw. Oh my god. Well, Warbird Max gets himself stuck on the screws because he's stupid. Assassin's gonna win the fight. I think he's gonna go into the tournament. Well, as I said before, Demo Derby is just completely gone. Warbird Max, he had an opportunity and he failed miserably, and now he's at 5 points, which now gives Assassin a much higher chance of him getting to the tournament, either as a very low or a decently middle seed with 7 points. Now it all depends here. If Endgame loses by a knockout, then he goes to the New Blood, or no, god damn it, the third place Desperado tournament, and Assassin goes to the tournament, and Warbird Max is done. But if Endgame gets anything above a 7-ish, then he's confirmed for the bracket, and Assassin goes to the thing. Nonetheless, it depends if Warbird Max will make it or not. Actually, no. Warbird Max is done. Anyways, whatever the hell. Endgame versus Metal King. 3, 2, 1, action. Let the bot battle begin. So far, the penultimate fight right now, the Endgame with 6 points and Metal King with an undefeated streak of 9 right now. Can Metal King win the fight? He's being pushed up into the screws by Endgame. So that's already a bad start from Metal King. But let's see if Metal King could do something. Endgame looking a bit sluggish right now as we start the fight. As Metal King's trying to get into the side of Endgame. I'm probably going to get these two mixed up, so I sincerely apologize. Metal King trying to get underneath of Endgame. It looks like Endgame actually has the low ground right now. I guess that makes sense because Metal King only has like one area where he can lift. That's a shame. Anyways, Metal King getting underneath. He does some damage to the top panel and almost lifts Endgame. But Endgame gets down. He was caught by Metal King, but gets free and pushes Metal King into the wall. Metal King trying to come in with another hit. It lands one to the side of Endgame. It gets underneath of it. Can it live? No, it can't. But that was close, though, by Metal King. Let's see if Metal King can do it again. I don't think so. Endgame is just saying, no, I'm not falling for that again. Metal King trying to get underneath of Endgame. It doesn't work, though. Metal King zipping around Endgame, just doing a little tango. Gets underneath of Metal King. Now push it around the arena. Yeah! Yeah, there you go, Endgame. That's how it's done. Metal King tried to get underneath with its little spatula lifter thing. Does Metal Sonic even have that at all? I don't think so. Has he ever worked it? You know what? Never mind. I'm questioning the Sonic series at this point. Anyways, Metal King continuing to bomb rush Endgame. Endgame has not really done anything besides just get underneath of Metal King and repeatedly slam into the wall like a guy smashing his head into a brick wall. I guess that's if you want to go it. Endgame gets put on the screws. Is Metal King gonna leave him there? Is Endgame gonna get down? Let's see. Metal King, I wouldn't... okay, fine, whatever. You've interfered with them one too many times, Metal King. Now you suffer the consequences in, I guess just being pushed around by Endgame. As we're getting somewhat more and more into the fight, I feel like Endgame is trying to make a comeback here, but still, Metal King is still winning in terms of aggression and damage. Control, probably Endgame, although maybe some points could be said for Metal King as we go to time right now between the two leaders, Endgame of New Zealand and Metal King of Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered a judge's decision. They awarded it unanimously to the winner, Metal King. And so, what have we learned today? Demo Derby will never get another win after that. On a much higher note, Warbird Max at least actually showed what he could do in the arena. He did at least get 2 wins, but 2 straight losses after whatever the hell happened back then. Metal King so far was the talking point of the whole season-ish. So, this whole heat right now, that's what I meant to say. He did get 3 straight knockout wins and a judge's decision win against Endgame, and looks to be going to the tournament with 11 points. The same as Scorcher, who also goes through, and I guess along with Fabulous Jeff, but who cares about him? I do now. As Endgame goes to the tournament with 7 points, and Assassin will go to the 3rd place bracket, also with 7 points. That will be all for today, folks. This was definitely a grand slam of a heat so far. As next up in Heat F is a tale of two Gators with Death Roll and Tailgater, and we also just shoved in Shadow, Monster, and Agrowubba. So in any cases, we'll see you in the next heat, whenever that'll be.